in any way. And I think maybe your curiosity has to go beyond your fear to get the courage to hit that button. And I guess mine reached it when I heard somebody from Celtic paganism question their beliefs and become more or less agnostic right in front of me. I don't even remember their name. I just remember them being agnostic at the end and pagan towards the beginning.
I'm trying to remember who that was. I do remember questioning a Celt or two into questioning more.
John French is pagan. Maybe they have some beliefs that were worth questioning.
Well, that raises a question there, Bats.
Oh, what question is that? Oh, what the fuck is a pagan? Oh, Earth-centered, non-Abrahamic. That's my opinion of what a pagan is. It's an Earth-centered based religion that is non-Abrahamic.
Is a God belief required?
No, because I feel like there's some animistic pagan beliefs.
To be spiritual entities, as our previous guest described them.
I don't think there necessarily has to be, because some are perfectly content worshiping what they can see: the sun, the trees, the ground. And they don't take the frivolous need to worship something that is unseen, that no one has ever seen, heard, or proved. At least the sun they can see exists. I don't worship Ra, but some do, apparently.
I've spoken to a few believers in the Egyptian gods, and never do I remember any one of them actually worshiping Ra. They tended towards other deities.
Maybe he's too mainstream and they don't want to appear too mainstream. Like when people say, oh, I worship Hecate, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, everybody worships Hecate. And then, or like, I worship Freya, and then so you pick some obscure god so that you aren't perceived as, like, I don't know, a mall witch, I guess.
A mall witch?
Yeah, those people who just like to buy the tarot cards at Hot Topic and think they are a witch now.
Isn't that where you sign up?
Yeah, sure. There's a sign-up sheet right in the front. They immediately ask you what pantheon you want and give you a sticker. Immediately.
I didn't know there was a sticker.
A sticker or a pin. I prefer pins. I can put them on my battle jacket.
Well, if I knew about the sticker, I might have signed up.
Yeah, we get one when we vote.
I mean, isn't that why everybody votes for the sticker?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody votes for any other reason. There's no political underlying more reason that anybody votes. Everybody only votes for that beautiful
We're
sticker.
just big kids who want stickers, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if they gave us little flags, we'd vote more often.
You mean like if they gave you a pin and a sticker?
Or a pin and a sticker? Maybe 40% of the country would vote if they got a pin and a sticker.
Mm-hmm. That might be true.
I don't care how people vote, as long as they vote. That's just my opinion, but okay. I don't think we need to go into political stuff up here.
Yeah, it's real easy to get in there. But if anybody's got a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that, well, this would be a good time for you to get into that by hitting the request buttons up there and seeing if you really can question your beliefs. I guess I should start preparing a poem if this is the night we're having. It's a little early, like a lot.
It's not even 2 a.m. At my zone, at least. Yours is probably past that.
Yeah, we're coming up on 3:30.
Witching hour. It's witching hour, darn it. Well, that's when you're supposed to have the more supernatural experiences, right? During the witching hour?
I've heard that. Let's see if this is supernatural. Hello, Notris. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
33.
Do you have a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that?
Is language a god?
What do you mean by that?
Great question. It seems like we're using a technology that we know nothing about.
What technology are you talking about?
Language.
Language is a technology.
Seems to be. But
It
you don't.
seems to be. Why do you say that we know nothing about it?
Well, possession. What about possession? That's a good factor that language includes.
How does that answer my question?
Just like what you said there, when you used a possessive term, it's we're claiming. I don't necessarily, but it seems like we're using language, and we know little about it, should I say.
What do you mean we know little about it?
It's probably fair to say that we know little about it.
Is it possible that you know little about it?
Definitely.
And that you have decided then, therefore, people know little about it?
Just from firsthand experience. That's all I can really go off of.
So if there were entire fields of linguistics and understanding not just, what words mean, but where they come from, why we use them certain ways,
Well, yeah, there's lots of history. Maybe I didn't catch what you said there, but are you saying that all these linguistics professionals would say that they know everything about something?
Nope.
No, I didn't think so. No.
Are you just saying that we know little in comparison to the everything, the totality of all? Or are you saying we have very little knowledge whatsoever?
Yeah, like of everything, like what we're standing on, how the system works in the legal sense, how counting works.
What was the question I just asked?
You'll have to remind me.
Okay. Why did you request up?
I figured you might be uplinks, I guess.
Some ramblings.
I mean, we're all babbling at the end of the day.
How would you know that? You don't know very much about language, it seems. So
Maybe I'm the only one.
We're all babbling.
Sorry to cut you off. Maybe I'm the only one being honest about it.
Why do you think you're the only one being honest about it?
Well, just the fact that you keep going over how little I know,
Holy
which should be obvious.
Shit. Did you read the prompt before you requested up?
No, it's the first time on here.
Okay, well, I would highly recommend in the future reading prompts before requesting up. Or is wandering around the internet peddling arrogance a belief you can't question?
He wasn't even paying attention at all.
No, he didn't listen to any questions. He didn't actually read the prompt. We ended up in... I followed up on his answers, but they were not answering my questions. TV, you've never heard me cuss. Oh, it happened. Happens. It fucking happens. There you go.
I wouldn't call that a supernatural experience, but I would call it a strange experience. Oh my goodness, okay. Not unusual, but strange.
I did use that sort of fancy font.
If you're
I did use that. It's a good point.
And if someone had like any kind of reading disabilities, I don't know, like, I guess you could ask in the comments what it said, but that wouldn't be very hard. There's lots of people in the comments who are very helpful. There's very great people in the comments.
Mm-hmm. Notris again. Didn't think so.
He sounded like he was multitasking, so maybe he's not even paying attention to what he's doing. Don't want to see my pecker?
Nope, we're just gonna bitch you right off the
Absolutely
from the
not.
room.
Mm-mm.
I'm not interested. It's really unfortunate that that's how you go around the internet presenting yourself. Goodbye.
Seriously, no better aspects in life, like prospects in life, sorry. Like, come on, there has to be something better worth doing.
No,
Even if
it's got nothing better going.
There's several documentaries I could recommend that might help boost brain development.
I'd say read his profile and you'd understand why. I don't think that'll help, but I don't think you should read his profile because it's obscene.
Some people never grow up. Unless that was a child. Oh my gosh, gross.
No, I'm fairly certain that was a grown man in his 30s or 40s.
Oh my gosh. Disgusting. As that was a child.
No, I'm fairly...
Disgusting. You heard about the icks? In case you heard about the icks, things like body odor, and for other people, it's more substantial things like morals or political beliefs. And they're amazing, but I don't know, they just had it. All of a sudden, oh, that's an ick. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Doesn't matter how pretty or intelligent you are, I can't get past watching that every day.
The cringe ick.
You have a fear of small holes, like trypophobia or something, or
trypophobia, I think. Trypophobia, I think. At the end. Or in the middle, I mean. Tripped. I could be wrong. But,
oh, it is. Liv says it is. So I guess if somebody, if you had that tryptophobia, and the person you were dated opened up a pomegranate, I could see how that would be. Yeah, some people run and scream when they see that. I remember that I had a friend who just would just freak out and have to look away. Pomegranates, honeycombs, weird, lots of things. I hate to be a graphic artist and have that.
probably won't be another believer to question. Now the question is, do I make another cup?
Somebody who has been thinking about questioning and hasn't yet thinking about questioning, going. Should the goal going? I think we're at like at 50% with the gift goal. And then boost it up to the algorithm. See if I can repost. TV is still in comments down below too. Oh, and he's back up here again. Hello, TV.
Welcome back, TV.
Sorry about all that. My phone is.
That's all right.
Yeah. Hold on. I
Figured
gotta.
you'd take a minute to get it
I gotta-
charged back up.
I gotta respond to Pop, and then we'll continue.
Well, while you type out your comment there, I'm gonna really.
Sorry, man.
Figured you'd take a minute to get it
I gotta-
charged back up.
I gotta respond to.
Or is it Krieger? Also, Danny Greggs, Tiny Science, Polly, and John the Brown. Thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate all of you helping with the goal. Thank you so much. So now that you're back, TV, we were talking about your belief in Holy Spirit, and I think Bats had a couple of questions. I wonder if Bats,
Yes.
if you remember any of those.
Oh yes. If TV, if you're ready now.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering at first. Do you know what proof of the Holy Spirit is biblically?
No, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you just freaking So there's two occasions, like the common one where you just accept him and it comes over you. And there's that one in Acts where the fire came over the disciples. And then there's also the first one when Jesus was baptized. They say the Holy Spirit descended descended like a dove, and God announced in the sky that this is my son that I'm truly beloved, or I'm proud in, or something.
Yes, the ascension of the Spirit on Jesus and the dove. But I was wondering if you knew the something called the fruits of the Spirit, like by their fruits you shall know them.
Yeah, by your fruits. That's there's bad fruits and there's good fruits. We were just talking about that, me and Pop in the chat.
Hmm?
The big tree analogy, and yeah.
So, if by your fruits you shall know them, it refers to having having acts in your daily life that prove that you are truly filled with the Holy Spirit, whether it's love, joy, patience, kindness, charity, all those different wonderful things, and that seeing those in your daily life will be proof of the Spirit dwelling within you. And I was wondering if you experience those fruits of the Spirit.
So it's more okay. So yeah, I do, but I also experience like the bad fruits, right? Because everyone has a mixture of both, right? And it's more so like you will know them by their fruits. So he's basically telling us you're gonna know who the, what kind of people are, how they are, like an individual, based on how they act or how they treat others, etc. Right? And based on our fruits is based on based on our fruits is basically how the more you have good fruits, the more intimate your relationship will be, right? And will be able to operate through you and use you as a vessel. But doing my stuff, and I'm gonna have fruits, and the Holy Spirit's gonna get kind of away from me, and it's gonna be harder for me to hear it, listen to it, and next thing you know, I'm gonna be just as bad as a non-believer. In fact, a little bit worse, because I know the truth. Like, I actually know the truth, and I'm still deciding to sin. We're going to be held more accountable than someone who's not believed.
Okay, slow down. Starting to get more to sermon than. Okay, go ahead, Bats.
So, would you then believe that it's possible to lose the Spirit? I guess that's probably a question of eternal security, I guess.
I think you can. I argue with that with a lot of Christians, because a lot of them are like, well, if you get the Holy Spirit, it's always with you. And I'm like, you can also tell God to leave, and he will leave. Like, you have free will even if you still believe in him. Like, if I want to go sin right now and go sleep around and go do something crazy, I can do it. And the Spirit would be like, no, don't do it. And I could be like, F you, God, I'm going to do my thing, right? And God's going to be like, all right, throws his hands in the air and go, let me do my thing. And then I'm going to be led astray, and etc. And I will start going away from God. And eventually you will not hear the Spirit. I've been there before.
What if you are pursuing the Spirit and actively searching God? Can you lose the Spirit that way?
If you're actively searching for him, but you're continuing sinning, which is something I'm currently. He's like that with everybody. You don't even like, even to non-believers, he's just sitting there waiting, you know? That's when grace and mercy comes in.
I can see how that you would get that from maybe the New Testament. But if you're actively not sinning and you're actively searching for God and you're actively pursuing the Spirit, fasting, praying, exhibiting the fruits of the Spirit, can you lose God that way? Because I've noticed that in for several people, including myself, that people who have actively searched out for God and actively researched the scriptures, displayed the fruits of the Spirit, and no longer believe in Him. Have you ever witnessed that in your experience?
Yes. His name was Gloria. He was 17 years old. I don't know what ever became of him in his pursuit, but that is a loaded question because there's a lot of things you have to consider. There's why are you pursuing him? Like, because he judges you by your heart, right? So if you're over here like, I hear that, Christianity is a profitable religion. So if I believe in God, I'm going to become rich. I want to believe in him. You're going to pursue to get rich. There's no relationship there with God. So ultimately, he's either going to show you what you're doing is wrong, or you're just going to what you're doing and think you're doing right. That's a hard question to answer because it's like, I think it really depends on the individual and their mindset, and like maybe they're in a stuck mindset, or maybe God is speaking to them. Because there's times God will speak to me and I won't realize it until like days later, and I'll be like, oh, he was trying to talk to me there, But that's a loaded question, and I'm sorry if I don't have a proper answer for you.
No, I don't. I never like try to assume anybody's answer. I always just try to an honest answer is more or less what I'm looking for. When everybody, I think all of us, your answers are valid. I'm also just wondering though, if I never like try to assume anybody's answer. I always just try to, if it is possible that some
Do with Christianity. I mean, there's like, truth is just truth. That's just a matter of fact. But I mean, if you seek the truth, you will find it. It's that simple. And I mean,
or is it
but I mean, it's a fact. It's a fact. A truth is a.
I mean to seek truth.
That's fine. Like, science, a mathematic trying to find an answer of a question.
Yeah, what was the answer he was trying to find when he got alive?
Einstein?
What truth was he seeking?
I mean, I know there was a portion where he was trying to see if God existed. But I mean, I get him mixed up with other scientists and his discovery.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You just kind of threw him out there as an example for your other point.
Yeah, but I mean, I literally have a book that's written by. I'm trying to remember what he did. I have a horrible memory, by the way, guys. So y'all. No, yeah, I can't remember. I'm sorry. I know. The size appropriate. My apologies, y'all.
What would convince you that your Holy Spirit God does not exist?
Oh, that would be hard. These are very good questions. You got me pondering over here because I'm trying to think of like all these little outcomes. I think there's 3 outcomes that I can possibly think of. If there's some scientific study on my fucking brain, showing with your emotions, and I'll be like, oh damn. And then 2, which this is kind of a weakness on my part as a fellow Christian. If I like lost something I really loved or someone I really loved, like, will I be strong enough to be like not have hatred towards God? You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of I think that's kind of a like bad mindset to have if you're a Christian. But at the same time, like I've seen people go through it. I've seen people overcome it and some people not. And I always pondered, will I be able to do it when the time comes? Another thing is just immense amount of just contradictions and nothing, like if I can't wrap my mind around it. Which I had a question for you. I came back on here mostly because I was going to ask you all the verses that you showed me through the Hebrew and the text that we have today, all the other ones you have that contradict like that have completely different meanings, so I can write them all down and start kind of doing my research.
There could be a lot more, but for now I would start there. That's a pretty powerful one to start with.
Yeah, it is.
Reason being, of course, I mean, if Adam and Eve aren't true, then how is any of what follows, any of the genealogies, any of the messages of God, all the sin and salvation, how does any of it make sense?
If I found out that wasn't true, I would really have to fucking down and rethink a lot of things about me. 100%. But like, I mean, the only thing I could argue with that automatically is the Book of Adam and Eve, which
an apocryphal book that
I still don't even know if it's like 100% like accurate or not. But at the same time,
where does it come from?
I have this book, and it's all the books that were taken out, including the Book of Enoch, but it had all these other ones. And I was really fascinated with the Book of Adam and Eve. And it's a very beautiful book, regardless if, it's true or not. But
one thing that I've noticed when I find a good book is if it is a good book, there'll often either be in the back section there'll be footnotes that refer to the books that it referred to write the book. So you can go in the back and it'll tell you where it got the information to write the book. It'll give you other books. It may give you a website. It may give you just there's all different things in the back of books that are helpful to find where the original sources are from. That's what I found is really fun to do with books. I don't know if you do that too.
I do. See, the book I got, it does kind of do that, but it only talks about how, the scroll, etc., and what language
it's a Dead Sea Scroll book. Is that what it is? I'm asking.
It might be. I mean, I was incorrect the first time, so I can't really say much now.
Fair enough. That is
humbling experience.
Is the Book of Adam and Eve, is it the life of Adam and Eve, or is it the conflict of Adam and Eve?
It's both. It starts out with them getting kicked out the garden. It's basically them figuring out life and this new hardship and like just trying to make it. And at the same time, they're like, well, has God forsaken us? Has God forgot us? And God's still kind of there taking care of them. It's kind of crazy. It's more I get the vibe of more of an epic, but I'm not 100% certain. But it's like a whole thing of like that's not their like the Satan being a snake and all that. That's not their only encounter that they have with Satan. Like he tries numerous times to take them because he doesn't want humans, and then there's all kinds of stuff that falls under it. And then it really goes in depth on Cain and Abel and why like Cain it goes all the way to Cain and Abel getting older and Seth, and that's where it ends. It gets crazy.
About more the conflict of Adam and Eve with Satan, which is a later version of
Well, there's
Harry
volume 1 and
Jenks.
volume 2. There's 2
Okay.
books of Adam and Eve, so you might be thinking
And they
one of
both
them.
seem, in your book, they both seem to tell the same story, but one adds more mentions of Satan and...
No, it's a completely different story.
Okay. And yeah, I think... I'd be...
Cool book.
My
regardless.
question would be, do you know when the book of Adam and Eve is written?
I don't know that.
It's... If it's the conflict of Adam and Eve, that would likely be 5th or 6th century.
Or an epic.
Like a fan fiction.
Yeah. Which there are those books out there, so like that's why I got to be careful when I do that kind of research.
If it's the life of Adam and Eve, a bit older, but it's still not going to be anywhere near as old as Genesis, or even some of the later books of the Bible, possibly Job, I think, would be one of the oldest. So, have you ever looked in to see, like, how old the... I kind of want to...
I'm sorry I don't got good arguments for you guys. I truly
It's
don't.
not arguments. We're not looking for arguments. You've shown epistemic humility, critical thinking, and the ability to question your assumptions that you came up here.
Well, you have to.
Yeah. If there were winning on this panel, which there really isn't, but if there were, you'd done it already.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, honestly questioning your beliefs is what we're trying to see if people can do, and it seems like you're quite capable, TV.
Yeah, I've always done it.